Pardon? So today let's talk about one of the prominent leaders of all the times among the Karbi community. He was the first Karbi Anglong Chief Executive Member CEM and the first MLC members of Legislative Councils of the State of Assam Legislative Councils. So he always tried to uplift and progress the development of the Karbi Anglong Autonomous Council KAAC, then Mikir Hill District of Assam. So he is none other than the Khorsing Terang. So let's talk about him today and his contribution towards our Karbi community. So let's begin. Khorsing Terang was born at a small village called Ronglongchor near Voterang Langso in the year 1906. His nickname at home was called as Sawat Terang. He went at Amolapati Model MV School, Golaghat and studied there till 6th standard, but could not further pursue his education due to some domestic problems at home. And after a few years, he tied a knot with 5 wives. His first wife, named Kareng Rongpipi, brought up 5 children, namely Kadom Terangpi, Kasang Terangpi, Sika Terangpi, Sarthe Terang, and Khoya Terang. And after the death of his first wife, he then again married to Kari Ronghangpi, brought up 2 daughters, namely Katu Terangpi and Kajor Terangpi. After the death of his second wife, he again married to Himili Timungpi, a Khasi girl from Silong, and brought up 2 daughters, namely Marjorie Terangpi and Mabel Terangpi. Again, after the death of his third wife, he then married to Kari Timungpi, but unfortunately could not give birth to any. But after the death of his fourth wife, he then again married to another Karbi woman, Kawe Rongpipi, the last and the 5th wife of Khorsing Terang, and had brought up 3 daughters, namely Kadomso, Kasangso, and Sikaso Terangpi. Thus, he had 12 children. In order to earn his livelihood after his marriage, Khorsing Terang had started opium business. But after some time, he stopped selling opium depot after knowing very well about the horrifying effects of opium consumption by his own elderly Karbi community. As the eldest son of his parents, Longkam Terang and Kaku Tisopi, he assumed the titles of his father's title, Mozadar of Dordisa Moza, after the death of his father, but later he took over the charge of newly created Borjan Moja. Khorsing Terang had shown his vigorous bravery when a man-eater tigers were entered into his village and killed village peoples and domesticated animals like cows, buffaloes, goats, etc. Thus the terrified villagers in the hills were fleeing from their own village, but Khorsing Terang courageously came forward to help and persuaded the villagers to stay back in their own villages. Finally, he killed the tiger by shooting it in the head of the tiger. In this way, he had saved the life of many in his village by his daring personality. While he was still holding the post of Mozadar, he also urged to contest election for MLC members of State Legislative Council seat from the Mikir Hill track in 1937 and became the first MLC from the Mikir Hill track and was elected for 3 consecutive times from 1937 to 1952. And he suggested for forming a strong Karbi organization for demanding a separate district, and his proposal was accepted unanimously. It was named as Karbi Mahasabha, formally constituted in the Kothalguri Karbi Convention in the year 1945, but later converted into Karbi Adorbar. And its first president was Khorsing Terang Habe, and Khorsing Terang was formally elected as the president of Karbi Adorbar for the period from 1951 to 1952. Khorsing Terang also played a crucial role in a delegation party led by Ru Samson Singh Ingti in submitting memorandum to His Excellencies Sir Robert Nell Reid and Sir Andrew Golek-Lo, the then governor of Assam. The memorandum was about demanding for creation of a newly separate district for the Mikir's people, now Karbi's people. Riso Dorbar was formed in suggestion given by Khorsing Terang and had formally formed on 25 January 1964 with the aim in mind to keep the Karbi youth united, harmonious and strong. It was an integral youth organization for achieving the goal for a separate district for the Karbis within the state of Assam. Khorsing Terang was also the member of Boundary Determination Committee under the leadership of Assam Revenue Minister Sri Moti Ram Bora. Khorsing Terang was elected as the Chief Executive Member CEM after the creation of Mikir Hill District Council in 1952, now Karbi Anglong Autonomous Council, and he served from 23 June 1952 to 30 November 1955. Khorsing Terang demised from this wall on 28 November 1955, and the entire Karbi Anglong was in deep sorrow as Karbi Anglong has lost a legendary figure, and his contributions are commemorated on his date anniversary, with many remembering his role in the recent history and development. His unwavering commitment to the progress of Karbi Anglong Autonomous Council and his charisma as a visionary leader will always remember in our hearts.